Okay, we got a dumb question from Amy, right? She said, let me ask a dumb question. Do you think Japanese music is helpful for learning Japanese, listening to it, or not so much? She listens to a lot of Visual Kei, she says. She's just wondering if this was something that's going to be beneficial to her in the journey of learning Japanese, right? To answer your question, yeah, it's helpful, definitely. Music definitely helps. I listen to music for years. Any kind of music is really good. There's one trap though. Music has a trap. You got to be careful with music, and that is when you start singing the music. You can listen to it all day long, and it's going to be the ultimate pronunciation building tool, right? You're going to be able to hear the differences in Japanese pronunciation. However, when you go to karaoke, and it's a whole different story, right? Because now when you're listening to music, you're inputting, right? I've talked about this. But then when you start to sing, you're outputting, prematurely outputting the language. You're not ready to speak it yet, right? Now I've always said you have to have output before, you have to have input before output, right? So and this is huge because your pronunciation is gonna get destroyed, right, when you do that. And it's funny because everybody thinks they're a pro at Japanese pronunciation. I ask all my private students when they first sign up, right? And I go through a checklist. I'm like, so how's grammar? How hard is grammar for you? How hard is sentence structure? And they're like, it's a 5, it's a 10, it's kind of hard, it's okay. And when I get to pronunciation, almost everybody like, oh, easy, pro pronunciation, no problem. Japanese pronunciation, what? That's the easiest. I've never had a problem with that. And then I take them on as a student. A year later, right? We do some audio recordings, some early stuff. I'll show them these audio recordings when they first spoke Japanese for the first time, and a year later they're like, I sound like an idiot. I sound terrible, right? Every time they're so shocked. Wow, I'm glad I didn't make that a habit. And that's what you got to be careful of, because the brain is a habit building machine, right? It's a pattern recognizing machine, that's input, and then it's a habit building machine, that's output. You're going to unconsciously speak the language, right? I'm not thinking about English right now when I'm speaking. It's unconscious. It's a habit. I built the habit so that it can come out at command. So you're going to build a habit. So when you build a habit with a bad pronunciation, you'll never get it out. It'll be there forever. Forever. You'll never freaking get it out. I've got one of my friends who loves karaoke. That's all he did. He sung karaoke all the time. He's great. He's a really good speaker of Japanese, but his pronunciation is terrible. And he knows this. He's probably watching my video right now. Hey, buddy. Hey. But anyway, no hard feelings. No, but he's really good at Japanese. His pronunciation is bad, right? This is not going to fix it ever. He'll never fix it. All right? Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, for him, in his case, you might say, well, that works for him. That's his trademark, right? You might not know this, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he first came to the United States, he had to go to a pronunciation coach for like 5 years to be able to get to the level he's at now. He spoke English fine, but his pronunciation was so thick that nobody would hire him because you know what I mean? It's really bad. And now he's at that level. It took him 5 years to fix his bad pronunciation. And now he's fixed, apparently, right? You still can't understand a lot of stuff he says. So I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's one of my idols. But that's another story for another day. Even him, right? So pronunciation, once you build the habit, it's like pulling teeth to get them out. You got to be very careful not to prematurely output the language, speak the language, before you've had enough input to where you can hear the subtle differences between Japanese pronunciations, right? Right now, your words can't hear the difference. When you're a beginner, you have no idea. That's why you're like, oh, it's fine. No big deal. I'm saying it right. Wakaru, wakaru. You know what I mean? When it's really wakaru. Wakaru, 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 wakaru. Wakaru, wakaru. Can you hear the difference there? If you can't, you need to work on your ears. You need to listen. You need to input Japanese for a long period of time to where you've trained them to now they're very sensitive to the Japanese subtleties. Right? And then you can pronounce properly. Right? You'll never fix it after. That's just the way it is. Now, if you don't mind that, you don't care having Arnold Schwarzenegger pronunciation, then go for it. You're probably going to have to spend a lot of time after the fact to try and fix that. All right? So you got to be careful. Don't prematurely output. Don't sing your music. If you don't do that, you've got great pronunciation practice because you're going to be listening to it. You're driving your car, you're taking a shower, you're having, fun. You see what I just did? I just did this. But anyway, it's gonna be great for you otherwise, right? So just don't make it your main thing, right? Use it as a background passive type of thing. And another thing to be careful about music is that the vocabulary is very strange, especially in anime music. All right, I mean, you've seen the lyrics. They're probably like, "We go over the sparkling rainbow ponytail into the ocean of your eyes." You know, I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's what it is. A lot of stuff doesn't make any sense, and the grammar patterns are very poetic-y, very poet. It's like poetry, right? No one speaks like that, so you don't want to make that your main method of study, because you're going to learn a vocabulary that's going to not help you speak. And it's the grammar patterns, the poetic grammar patterns, that aren't really going to help you too much. So, but other than that, pronunciating practice as a pronunciation training tool to be able to hear the differences between Japanese words, great. Use that. It's great. So I hope I answered your question. Good luck.